A very good evening to all. I, Dr. Shaminas, on behalf of Progressive Literary and Cultural Society, welcome you all on a digital platform. We have been doing lecture series we have always been doing lecture series since the formation of society, but since few days we were not doing it continuously, but now again we have started our lecture series. So now we are having our second lecture series in this, and today we have an eminent professor from CCS University who will be delivering a lecture on love and literature. But before that, let me introduce my society in front of some new people who have joined today. So, Progressive Literary and Cultural Society, which was formed on 23rd August 2020, is a non-political and non-religious organization which has been working for the promotion of literature and culture on virtual and real platform. We have kept the name Progressive because by the word progressive means moving forward with innovative ideas but keeping intact with old values. We do not believe in any particular ideology but are committed to cooperate with all the world communities to enhance global development, peace and harmony. The motto of PLC is entire universe is our family, which is taken from the Indian philosophy of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, which is a Sanskrit word meaning entire universe is my family. The aim of PLCS is to promote global literature and culture, and the mission of it is to enhance peace, love, multiculturalism, mutual understanding and brotherhood among different nationalities. The vision of this society is to make this world a multicultural hub without any prejudices. We don't endorse any political or religious theme on our platform. So we have been doing lots of program, and the objective of society is to provide a platform to promote global literature and culture, and hence working to enhance world peace and humanity by organizing various literary and cultural programs which we have been doing since the formation of our society. We are trying to promote the indigenous art and culture of India on international front, and in the same way we are highlighting the indigenous culture of other countries. We have organized various multilingual and multicultural poetry and literature festival. We are promoting our native language, including regional languages, by organizing various programs, for example, Hindi poetry reading and Marathi poetry reading. In future, we will try to organize exhibition for promoting various handicraft existing in India. Platform for all subject teacher to progress, perform and hone their skill in this ever challenging and changing times of education by organizing seminar, conferences, symposium and workshop. In future, we will also organize faculty development programs so that teachers in schools and colleges can update their knowledge base and implement the best pedagogical practices. We are committed to extend consultancy services to educational institutions and other bodies so as to further enhance the communication skill among teachers of English and relevant skill of their employees. In future, we will cultivate and inculcate a research temperament that foster an innovative ecosystem for the teacher and scholar for their overall growth. And we will try to conduct outreach program to aid the less fortunate to upgrade their knowledge, skills and value. We have organized some humanitarian works to support people in need like homeless or affected by any natural calamities. We have organized some competitive workshop for students like UPS workshop on UPSC. We have organized virtual tour event for promoting tourism like visit Kashka Darya. We have organized workshops, seminar and discussions on various issues of human existence to create awareness about various things. We have raised awareness against various social problems by discussion and workshop. We also celebrate various Indian festival and other world festivities to promote love and brotherhood. We have organized Filipino poetry reading in June 2021, Spanish poetry reading in August 2021, and American poetry reading in September 21, and we are going to organize a Greek poetry reading on 3rd October to promote indigenous poet of respected country. We have we have organized event with sports on Olympic and Paralympic. PLCS family comprises of 50 registered Indian member and 7 international members. We have 4 guest member of different countries. Barring these, there are lots and lots of poets and scholars who have participated on our platform. So this is just a small attempt from our society, and we would like to need suggestion from Professor like Vikas Sharma and other, so that we can help to in the growth of our society. So now I request Dr. Anupama Sharma to carry on with the proceeding. Since I am not well, so if there would have been any mistake, I ask forgiveness from you all. So Dr. Anupama, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Dr. Shaminaz. First of all, a very beautiful good evening and good morning all around the world. And I, Dr. Anupama Sharma, Joint Secretary of Progressive Literary and Cultural Society, welcome you all on our platform, digital platform of our forum PLCS. Today, we are organizing an e-seminar on the very sensitive topic, love in literature. So, this wonderful topic will be taken up by our eminent professor, Dr. Vikas Sharma. Let me introduce first. Professor Vikas Sharma is currently serving in as head Department of English, Chaudhry Charan Singh University, Meerut. Earlier, he served as principal in DAV PG College, Bulandshahr, Uttar Pradesh. He has obtained the highest degree of academic word D.Lit in English from CCS University, Meerut. He has done PhD on the novels of Khushwant Singh from Kumayu University, Nainital. He has received MPhil degree from Dr. Hari Singh Gaur University, Sagar, that is Central University, Madhya Pradesh. He has been teaching in UG and PG since 1994. In his 27 years of academic life, he has guided 20 research scholars, and they have got awarded their degree also, PhD degree also. He has published 50 research papers in national and international journals also. He is publishing his debut novel entitled as Rah Ke Patthar from a very renowned publishing house, that is Diamond Publishing House from Delhi. Barring this, English literature, Professor Vikas Sharma has knowledge of as well as mastery over on Hindi, Urdu and Sanskrit literature. He composes poems in Hindi which reflects his love for language and literature also. He is in the editorial board of many national and international journals also. Professor Vikas Sharma is steeped in so much of love for composing poetry that till date he has composed 50 poems. He is famous as Love Poet. Professor Vikas Sharma has been president also of MUTA. He has been founder general secretary of College English Teachers Association of CCSU, Chaudhry Charan Singh University, Meerut, Uttar Pradesh. So now, today, he will deliver a lecture on very sensitive and enthusiastic topic, love in literature. In his lecture, he will express the idea of love as concerned in English, Hindi, Urdu and Sanskrit literature. So now I am inviting Professor Vikas Sharma on the stage. Welcome, sir. Now the stage is yours, Professor Sharma.
Thank you, Dr. Anupama. And you have very beautifully got me frightened by using the word sensitive. But first of all, I would like to pay my sincere thanks to this progressive literary society. The word progressive gives me courage to speak boldly. It's a very sensitive topic, as Anchor has already warned me. I would speak on this topic in two parts. In the first part, I will focus on psychological concept of love, a scientific concept of love. In the second part, I would deal with love in literature. It's a very vast topic. I was noting down the notes when I came from the department afternoon. When I felt it's a very huge topic, I have to summarize it within 1 hour. It's a very difficult task for me. But when I think about love, I say one thing. Love is a very intense emotion which did not even spare gods. We mortals felt blessed when we experience it. Here I remember Aphrodite in Greek mythology and Mohini avatar of Vishnu have a similar analogy. Both have enchanted and caused flutters in the heart of gods and demons alike. My dear friends, love is the most exhilarating of all human emotions. It is nature's way of keeping human race alive and reproducing. With a cocktail of chemicals of our brain, it entices to fall in love. Sometimes we fool ourselves, believing that we are choosing a partner, yet we may be happy victims of nature's love. Sorry for speaking in such a blunt manner. Psychologists believe that it takes between 90 seconds and 5 minutes to decide if we fancy someone. I am reminded one of my poem. जब जब मैं तुम्हें लिखना चाहता हूँ एक प्रेम पत्र, मैं लिख जाता हूँ एक कविता. जब जब मैं तुम्हें लिखना चाहता हूँ एक प्रेम पत्र, लिख जाता हूँ एक कविता. I am reminded of a psychologist Robert Sternberg. Robert Sternberg proposed a triangular theory of love. You will be surprised that I am a professor of English literature. I am talking about psychology. But without psychology, I cannot talk about Shakespeare. I cannot talk about Browning, John Donne, Amrita Pritam, and Handa Loha by Dharamveer Bharti. Robert Sternberg proposed a triangular theory of love that suggests there are 3 components of love: intimacy, passion, and commitment. Intimacy, passion, and commitment. Different combinations of these 3 components result in different types of love. For example, a combination of passion and intimacy leads to passionate love, while a combination of intimacy and commitment results in compassionate love. Robert Sternberg, who is a psychologist, he discussed 8 types of love, 8 different types of love. I am speaking very slowly so that you could note it down. Non-love means low on all 3 elements. Second is linking. Linking means high on intimacy only. Third one is infatuated love, passion only. Fourth one is empty love, commitment only. Fifth is romantic love. Romantic love includes intimacy and passion, companionate love, intimacy and commitment, fatuous love, passion and commitment, and last one is consummate love. All 3 together. Here I again remember a very famous psychologist, John Lee, L-E-E. John Lee categorized 6 major types of love. First of all, eros, E-R-O-S, eros, means very simple word, erotic desire for an idealized other. Second is ludus, L-U-D-U-S, that is playful. You can say game-like love. Third one is storge, a Greek word. I am using the Greek word. Storge, S-T-O-R-G, means slowly developing attachment. Mania. obsessive and jealous love, agape, AGAP, altruistic love, and pragma, practical love. My dear friends, according to psychologists, Elena Hatfield, I give another third name, Elena, Elaina, Elena, Elaina. You can Google it, Hatfield, Hatfield. Elena Hatfield and her friends, colleagues, they talk of different types of love, especially two basic types of love. First is compassionate love and passionate love. Compassionate love is characterized by mutual respect, attachment, affection, and trust. While passionate love is characterized by intense emotions, sexual attraction, anxiety, and affection. When these fervent emotions are reciprocated, people feel elated and fulfilled. But remember one thing, unreciprocated love leads to feelings of despondency and despair. Elena Hatfield suggests one thing, that passionate love is transitory. It is short-lived, usually lasting between 6 and 30 months. It is a very surprising fact that love is transitory. Passionate love is transitory. It usually lasts between 6 and 30 months. Passionate love arises when the passion meets our preconceived ideas of ideal love, and we experience heightened physiological arousal in the presence of that person. If I speak a very humorous style, on a humorous tone, I can say, love can be defined as the obsessive delusion that is cured by marriage. It is a very humorous aspect. My dear friends, do we still remember when we first fell in love? That beautiful feeling of excitement, that is flutter in the stomach, sweaty palms, racing heartbeat, flushed skin, light, intense gush of energy, sleeplessness, craving, loss of appetite, and focused attention. Hindi poet Bihari has discussed all these things in his couplets. Well, this is all due to the chemical cocktail. I use the word chemical cocktail, which surges in our body as soon as we set an eye on that special someone.
WhatsApp.
That is special someone. I use the word special someone. The visual sense, which is keener in males, send the stimulus to brain, then love arises. According to Dr. Helen Fisher, I quote his lines to illustrate my point of view and to propound this theory and to start my lecture. The human body releases a cocktail of love ruptures only when certain conditions are met, and men more readily produce it than women because of their more visual nature. Unquote. Sometimes it is hard to differentiate between love and lust. Lust is the first stage of love. Once the love at the first sight is over, and the relationship moves on to a higher plane. William Shakespeare has mentioned this love at first sight in his very famous romantic comedy, As You Like It. My dear friends, today's young generation, today's youth is more materialistic, or rather we call it worldly wise. They neither have the time nor the inclination for true love. The moment their visual senses are awakened by seeing that sizzling, hot and beautiful person, their neurochemical cycle is ignited and they fall in love. Here I remember a Urdu couplet, written by modern Hindi poet, or modern Urdu poet. तो तुम्हें दिल तोड़ने का हुनर आता है, हमें भी फिर से कहीं और जुड़ जाने का हुनर आता है। तुम्हें दिल तोड़ने का हुनर आता है, हमें भी फिर से कहीं और जुड़ जाने का हुनर आता है। I am talking about the modern generation love. My dear friends, their love has more the sexual nuance to it other than emotional one. Their relationship usually break up after crossing that first hurdle, and the hurdle of sex. After a few months in the relationship, the spark seems to be missing, which in reality is due to the dwindling of the pleasure chemical. In these individuals, the passionate love does not transform into compassionate love. If I talk about an Indian reference, India is a harbinger of collective culture. Collective culture, here an individual's identity is tied to his or her social group. People from collectivist culture expect love to grow as the marriage upholds over time. There is less emphasis on romance in Indian culture. There is less emphasis on romance and infatuation. Instead, people emphasize practical concerns. If I talk about Indian reference, what are the practical concerns? Such as income potential and compatibility with the extended family. In contrast, people from indigenous countries, they emphasize the passionate side of love when looking for a spouse. They focus on feelings or excitement and physical attraction. If I talk about Indian society as regards to love, in Indian society, the element of love at first sight, sorry to say, is usually missing. And the relationship starts after marriage and then taken to the pedestal of sex. Later, the compassionate love might enter the equation. It depends on equation of the partners. If the sexual component is proper and adequate, then the relationship is blissful, happy marriage life. So, the post-coital release of the bonding chemicals, oxytocin, O-X-Y-T-O-C-I-N, oxytocin, and vasopressin, V-A-S-O-P-R-E-S-S-I-N, vasopressin, they make their presence essential for the sustenance of long-term relationship. A relationship after 5 years becomes stale. I am again sorry to speak so boldly. A relationship after marriage, after 5 years, becomes stale, and the honeymoon period of the relationship seems to be over. Couples generally say that the visual arousal of spatial sensation of electric current which they felt in each other's touch, that sensation of shower of flowers on kissing, that enormous orgasm, intense pleasure on making love. It is the solid reality of life, and one should accept it. That there does not seem to be any chemistry between the two. This loss of love also has a chemical undercurrent in it. At this stage, the couple is there in their midlife. Their work and children drain out a lot from them. Slowly, sex loses its priority in their lives and becomes introvert. You can say it becomes infrequent. It is not that the partners have changed, but the chemistry has altered. And the pleasure hormones of passionate love have dwindled, have weakened. The bonding chemicals of compassionate love is also less due to infrequent sex. Therefore, this is the period where divorce and extramarital relationship, extramarital affairs take place. My dear friends, This period in the relationship is also known as 7 years itch, made famous by the movie of Marilyn Monroe, directed by the Ed Ballarat in 1955 in USA, in the same style, same way. It must be stressed to the couple in long-term relationship to have frequent sex, to keep the relationship alive and kicking. In a lighter vein, it could be said that any behavior which does not conform to the social and moral norms of society is considered to be delinquency. But it may have some scientific reasoning to it. You remember Don John, the legendary Spanish womanizer, better known as Casanova, and even like the former American President Bill Clinton, his affair with Monica Lewinsky, they were addicted to love and sex. Now, if I talk about creativity breeds in a heightened state of emotions. Our sweetest songs are those that tell of saddest thought. We look before and after and pine for what is not. Our sincerest laughter with some pain is fraught. You remember Valmiki? Valmiki composed first slok when he was in melancholy, when he was in a sad mood. Very famous slok, आदि कवि वाल्मीकि. मैं कवि हूँ, मेरी परिभाषा मेरे गीत दिया करते हैं, औरों को अमृत देकर को जहर पिया करते हैं. जब कवि रोता है तब कविता का सृजन होता है. Many poems which show one thing, that creativity comes when you are in melancholy mood. Now, creativity, as I said, breeds in a heightened state of emotions, be it love or anger. Scientifically speaking, euphoria, or you can say depression. Remember Mahadevi Verma? मैं नीर भरी दुखी बदली. Remember Abgay, a very famous novel, Shekhar Ek Jeevani. The opening line of the novel clearly manifests this fact that creativity comes when you are in depression. Abgay says, घोर यातना व्यक्ति को जीवन दृष्टा बना देती है. घोर यातना व्यक्ति को जीवन दृष्टा बना देती है. When you are in the melancholic mood, you become a seer, S-E-E-R. You remember John Keats' very famous ode to melancholy. Now, my dear friends, it is known that the pleasure chemicals of the brain lead to a state of euphoria, focused attention, loss of sleep, appetite. These are ideal conditions for creative work. Remember Hindi poet, Hindi romantic poet, सुमित्रानंद पंत, वियोगी होगा पहला कवि, वियोगी होगा पहला कवि, आहा से उपजा होगा गान, उमड़कर नयनों से चुपचाप, वही होगी कविता अनजान. When Pant was a young man, a beautiful lady proposed Pant, but Pant rejected the proposal of the girl because he was in love with nature. I am reminded of that particular line. Pant wrote this line, छोड़ ध्रुवों की मृद छाया, छोड़ ध्रुवों की मृद छाया, तोड़ प्रकृति से भी माया, बाले तेरे बाल जाल में कैसे उलझा दूं लोचन, छोड़ अभी से इस जग को. In the beginning of his career, he was very much interested in falling in love with nature. But very soon he realized that he also needs a beautiful woman to fall in love. Then he composed the line, त्रिभुवन की श्री भी भर सकती नहीं प्रेयसी के शून्य पावन स्थान को. The vacuum of a beautiful woman cannot be filled even by the beauty of three lokas. तीनों लोगों का सौंदर्य भी एक सुंदर प्रेमिका के स्थान को पूरा नहीं कर सकता. This is the concept of Hindi poets. You remember Jaishankar Prasad? He was very much disturbed in his personal life, and when he was frustrated in love, Then what did he write? रो रो कर फिसक फिसक कर कहता मैं करूं कहानी, तुम सुमन नाचते सुनते करते जानी अनजानी। जो घनीभूत पीड़ा थी, जो घनीभूत पीड़ा थी, मस्तक में स्मृति सी छाई, और दुर्दिन में आंसू बनकर वह आज बरसने आई। ओ मेरी प्रेम बता दे, तू स्त्री है या कि पुरुष, दोनों ही पूछ रहे हैं, कोमल है या कि पुरुष। All the Hindi poets, all the English poets, all the Urdu poets, whatever they were feeling in the heart of hearts, they were writing. Here I remember दुष्यंत कुमार, मैं जिसे उड़ता बिछाता हूँ वही गजल आपको सुनाता हूँ। Whatever experience Dushyant was facing in his life, he was writing. Here I remember the great Hindi poet, Dr. Kumar Bechen. Now what does Kumar Bechen say? Kumar Bechen says, दिल पर मुश्किल है बहुत, दिल की कहानी लिखना। दिल पे मुश्किल है बहुत, दिल की कहानी लिखना, जैसे बहते हुए पानी पे पानी लिखना। दिल पे मुश्किल है बहुत, दिल की कहानी लिखना, जैसे बहते हुए पानी पे पानी लिखना। कुछ भी लिखने का अगर तुझको हुनर मिल जाए, इश्क को अश्क के दरिया के रवानी लिखना। इश्क को अश्क के दरिया के रवानी लिखना। क्रिएटिविटी comes only in the condition when you are in love, either in frustration or in union or in separation. The same way poet Kumar Bechen says, नदी बोली समुद्र से, नदी बोली समुद्र से मैं तेरे पास आई हूँ। नदी बोली समुद्र से मैं तेरे पास आई हूँ। जीविका मेरे शायर मैं तेरी ही रुबाई हूँ। This is the poetry. Now for creativity, creative people like actors, singers, poets, writers, painters, they have numerous lovers or affairs. If you look at the history, it reveals even the best for Picasso, Elizabeth Taylor, Marlon Monroe, Britney Spears, John Keats, Shelley, Amrita Pritam, Ranbir Bharti. You find a galaxious writers, but they were produced when they were either in love or melancholy. These people were not made for a long-term relationship, as their brain was turned to a state of perpetual high induced by the brain objects. When I talk about love in literature, I remember only one line, one opening line of Shakespeare's very famous play, Twelfth Night. Music is the food of love. Music is the food of love. My dear friends, Hindi literature, English literature, all the literature अस्थि चरण देवम सामने ऐसी प्रीति, ऐसी जो श्री राम में होती तो भक्ति थी. Remember Mod 1. If there is no Mod 1, there is no W.B. Yeats. If there is no Fanny Brownie, there is no Keats. And if I say, if there is no Mary Fitton, there is no Shakespeare. My dear friends, I have given the example of literature. Literature is taught very many anecdotes of love affairs. Love story, a book by Eric Segal, is a classical example. Oliver's passionate love, prospering into compassionate love. The love, chemistry, working to its full potential. Now, then there is a lust induced by surgery levels of sex hormones. Testosterone, and estrogen. I am using two words, I'm giving spelling also, so that you could Google it very easily. Testosterone. Testosterone. Second is estrogen. Estrogen. In the raunchy words of Jackie Collins. And you remember her Indian clone, Shubha Day, who had written Strange Obsession, Socialite Evenings, Starry Nights, many novels. The spectrum of love ends with the deranged love of the pedophile controversial novel Lolita by the Russian author Vladimir Nabokov. The search for that elusive love and pleasure, sensation by the young ladies has kept the Mills and Boon novels one of the best sellers of all times. And the young girls, they fantasize the situation of the female protagonist and try to experience that silver of love, which may be missing in their lives. It can be said very easily. I very emphatically can say that eczema of love might have some chemical basis to it. In this context, I remember the movie Blame It on Rio. Sometimes I feel it should be re-questioned as Blame It on the Chemistry. Now, if I talk of Shakespeare, because all of you, most of this audience have already read Shakespeare. Shakespeare in his famous play, Merchant of Venice, illustrated love appropriately as I quote the lines, for the love is blind and the lovers cannot see the petty feelings they themselves commit. My dear friends, I just took the example from plays, Love in Tempest. I have just noted down some points to clear my point. As you already know, Shakespeare's Tempest is the last play of Shakespeare. It is the last play of Shakespeare, was written in 1611. In this play, Shakespeare has celebrated tender love and innocence, the story of Ferdinand and Miranda. I love this play. Miranda is very innocent. She does not know and from where she has come. She has not seen any other being of her own sex. She says, I quote the lines, do not know one of my sex, save from my glass mine own, unquote. She has only seen her father and Caliban from the opposite sex. That is why she is taken aback at the sight of Ferdinand. I quote the lines, I might call him a thing divine, but nothing natural I ever saw so noble. I am quoting the line from Tempest. Miranda was ignorant. All that is the word. She was good in true Sangata. She was brought up in the lap of nature and she imbibed the qualities of nature. Very innocent. She knew no falsehood. That is why she lost her heart at the very first sight of Ferdinand and said, this is the third man that ever I saw. I am quoting the lines from the play. This is the third man that ever I saw. The first that I sighted for, unquote. Ferdinand also lost his heart at the very first sight. Now again, Shakespeare is showing his theory of love, first sight love, which he had already shown in the play As You Like It. Ferdinand took her for a goddess as first. As she was divine in appearance, he promises to make her his wife. Really, it is a story of first sight love. I quote the lines, the very instant that I saw you, did my heart fly to your service, unquote. Ferdinand is not as innocent as Miranda. He had seen many maids and loved a few. He finds Miranda, better than any other maid. Miranda is so innocent that he fails to express her love and says, "Prompt me, pray, for innocence, I am with your wife, if you will marry me." Now, in Tempest, you find concept of love. If I do not talk about Shakespeare's sonnets, it would be injustice with you. I quote two sonnets only. First is, when to the let me not to the marriage of true minds. Let me not to the marriage of true minds admit impediments. Love is not love, which alters when alteration finds, or bends with the remote to remove. Love is not time's food, the rosy lips and cheeks, within his bending sickles compass come. Love alters not, with his brief hours and weeks, but bears it out as of doom. Shakespeare is showing one thing, that true love remains firm up to the doomsday. In the second quartet, Shakespeare says, "Oh, no vision ever fixed mark, that looks on tempest never shaken. It is a star to every wandering bark, whose worth is unknown, although his height be taken." And in the last stanza, last couplet, Shakespeare is so sure that he challenges the readers that if his concept about true love is wrong, then he will never compose poems. If this be error, and upon me proved, I never writ, nor no man ever loved. But my dear friends, here I remember Othello. Shakespeare's attitude towards love is that of a Christian, you can say devout Christian. His lovers look forward to marriage as a matter of course. They are always true and faithful. True love finds full expression in purity and sanctity of the marriage bond alone. In every play you find, especially romantic comedies, play ends with the marriage, the ringing of marriage bells. If you talk about Merchant of Venice and As You Like It. In Othello, and I loved her, that she did pity them. Unquote. Here, irrespective of Othello and Desdemona, Shakespeare has also provided a different view of love. At the end of the when Iago is alone. I have just quoting lines to illustrate my point of view. My dear students, my dear friends, the woman he loves has believed another, and there is no hope that marriage can be taken. I am talking about Rodrigo. In Iago's view, Desdemona's love for Othello is simple, unnatural sexual desire, and her courtesy. If I talk about John Donne, metaphysical poet, how can I forget Donne? My dear friends, John Donne is known as the law poet of love. You remember the lines of Donne, many poems, sun rising and canonization. Here I talk about canonization. In poet gives a question. Poet rebukes the persons who are worldly in the opening of the line when he says, for God's sake, hold your tongue, or chide my palsy or my gout, my 5 grey hairs and fortune flout, with wealth or estate, then mine with arts and prove, take you a ghost. Now in the second stanza, he is so much sarcastic. He asks the question, alas, alas, who is injured by my love? What merchant ships have my size down? Who says my kiss over the town? Now, if I talk about Donne's another poem, Sun Rising, in Sun Rising, poet rebukes the sun. Busy old fool, unruly sun, why dost thou rise to curtains columns? He rebukes sun in such a way, okay, sun, you do not have the etiquette and manners. You are knocking the bedroom someone. Your rays are coming. And say siege or states or prince's eye. It means love is everything for them. Love is everything for them. Then the poet can lose each other for the sake of love. If I remember P.B. Shelley's very famous poem, Love's Philosophy, when Shelley says, fountains mingle with the river. Fountains mingle with the river, and the rivers with the ocean. Winds of heaven mix forever with a sweet emotion. Nothing in the world is single. All things by law divine, in one another being mingled. Why not I with thine? See the mountains kiss high heaven. Now, Shelley also is a prophet. He is a prophet. And he feels that institutions of laws and the formed civil society, they are nothing. He disregards. He disregards all the traditions. Now, if I talk about the Robert Browning, how can I forget Robert Browning? Robert Browning, famous poem, Porphyria's Lover. I remember the lines of Porphyria's Lover. Opening line, sunset and evening star opening. Sunset and evening, the line थी वो थी, I forgot the line. The rain set a little night. The rain set a little night. The sullen wind was soon awake. It told the ambient sighs. Now, in the poem Lasted Together, Browning is so optimistic about love that he asked the question to himself: Feel I alone in words and deeds? Why all men strive who succeed? 10 lines indicates man life in each. The flag is stuck on a heap of bones. My writing is better by the league. This is called concept of love. Browning is so optimistic in field of love. Now I would like to discuss some Hindi poems because Anchor has spoken from me, and Anchor has said that I have some knowledge of Hindi poets. How can I forget Kumar Viswas? I have some poems to show you the modern concept of love. My dear friends, so far as Kumar Viswas is concerned, his poetry is full of love. And you find a new technique, a new imagery in the poetry of Kumar Viswas. I quote some lines which clearly illustrate his love for imagery. तुम अगर नहीं आई गीत गाने पाऊंगा, साथ साथ छोड़ेंगी सुर जाने पाऊंगा, तान भावना की है, शब्द शब्द दर्पण दर्पण है, बाकी चली आओ फूट का निमंत्रण है. Now see the line. मैं तुम्हें ढूंढने स्वर्ग के द्वार तक रोज जाता रहा, मैं तुम्हें ढूंढने स्वर्ग के द्वार तक रोज जाता रहा, रोज आता रहा, तुम गजल बन गई, गीत में ढल गई, मंच से मैं तुम्हें गुनगुनाता. Now another beautiful poem. कल नुमाइश में गीत मेरी बिके, कल नुमाइश में फिर गीत मेरी बिके, और मैं कीमतें लेकर घर आ गया. कल सलीगों पे मेरी चढ़ी, मेरी आंखों पे स्वर्णिम धुआं छा गया. Now this is new concept of love. I am reciting another line, also very beautiful line. The girl is married to someone. The girl with whom the poet was in love, she got married with someone, and the poet says, and you remember the Hindu mythology, Hindu system of marriage, Hindu convention of marriage. मांग की सिंदूर रेखा तुमसे ये पूछेगी कल. Poet is asking question from the beloved who has left him in the lurch. मांग की सिंदूर रेखा तुमसे ये पूछेगी कल, यूं मुझे सिर पर सजाने का तुम्हें अधिकार क्या है. तुम कहोगी वह समर्पण बचपना था, तो कहेगी घर वो सब बचपना था, तो कहो फिर प्यार क्या है. The poet is asking question. Poet is asking from his beloved, what is the theme of love? What is love? कल कोई अधर आयाना बावरा छोका पवन का, जब तुम्हारी इन निकम पर गंध भर देगा चमन में, या कोई चंदा धरा का रूप का मारा बिछारा, कल्पना के तार से नक्षत्र जड़ देगा गगन में, या किसी आशीष का आंचल मचल कर पूछ लेगा, ये नयन विनिमय अगर है, यह नयन विनिमय अगर है प्यार, तो व्यापार क्या है. रिमेंबर हिंदी पोएट बिहारी, कहत नटत रिजत खिजत, मिलत खिलत लजियात, और भरे भवन में करत हैं नैनन ही सो बात. In the last line, poet asks a very innocent question. मांग की सिंदूर रेखा तुमसे ये पूछेगी कल, यूं मुझे सरफस जाने का तुम्हें अधिकार चाहे. That is called love. That is called love. I would like to quote last poem of Kumar that talks about a very important, very sensitive issue. Generally, Indian people avoid talking about this issue. क्या अजब रात थी, क्या गजब रात थी. दंश सहते रहे, मुस्कुराते रहे, देह की उर्मियां बन गई भागवत. हम समर्पण भरे अर्थ पाते रहे. मन में अपराध की एक शंका लिए कुछ क्रियाएं हमें जब हवन सी लगी. एक दूजे की सांसों में दुलती हुई गोलियां भी हमें जब भजन सी लगी. कोई भी बात हमने ने की रात भर, प्यार की धुन कोई गुनगुनाते रहे. देह की उर्मियां बन गई भागवत. हम समर्पण भरे अर्थ पाते रहे. This is called concept of love. This is called poetry of love. If I talk about the novelists who talk about love, I remember only one novelist in the spur of this movement. That is Manju Kapoor. Manju Kapoor is a bold writer, and she does not let love in any form be swept under the carpet. Manju Kapoor, in his novel Difficult Daughters, I say one thing. If I talk of Manju Kapoor, I talk of Difficult Daughters. Manju Kapoor offers to reward love, by creating the same feeling of fondness, fascination, and love in a male protagonist. Kapoor's representation of love is close to reality, and she very beautifully expresses the minute detail of the feelings of the lovers, of their expression of speech, gestures, and body language. Kapoor knows the art of incorporating intense love in novels. In each and every novel you find this concept of a different. Now, I would like to conclude my lecture by saying only one thing, that love is the feeling which is very much helpful in creating the right creations. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. I just want to make a request. Atul Kumar ji, you are presenting. Please stop presenting. Atul Kumar ji. Atul Kumar ji, you are presenting. Please stop screen presentation. Anu, you carry on.
Thank you so much, sir, for a very wonderful lecture. Am I audible? Team?
You are audible.
Thank you so much, sir, for a very wonderful lecture on this very vast topic, love in literature. I think all the viewers enjoyed this very lecture. Now the session is open for your questions. If you have any questions or queries, you may ask, sir. Anybody else?
I also want to ask.
Yes, ma'am.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, ma'am. You can.
Sir, you made a very good presentation. I was really very impressed, and the way you analyzed all the different aspects of love, quoting all the poets as well as talking about Robert Stearns and John Lee's demarcation of the major types of love. That was very, very enlightening, sir. I was very much impressed. I mean, one never delves on these topics and never enters so deeply into the subject as you have entered. But sir, there was one question, I mean, one query I just wanted to ask. You said, well, music is love and creativity is love and all that. But when you say that you get married and that love, lasts for 2 years, 3 years, after 5 years, it becomes serious and after further. So you said about 7 years each. Well, sir, and then of course it dies out because probably with the passage of time. But sir, I would just like to say, do you associate, I mean, just a personal reason, do you associate love with sex only? Because I think if love, I mean, sex dies out due to the hormonal disturbance or due to the multifarious factors that you all get involved so much in your family life, in the bringing of the children and getting them settled and all that, that sex does not play a role of priority in one's life. But if you are not indulging in that particular activity, that doesn't mean that your relationship should be in a way, and it should you should get tired and seek extramarital love, and you should feel depressed or anything. Because love, I think, is a bonding from the heart, and love is caring and being one and companionship. That is what I feel more everlasting, and that is why when you get old, I mean, only the couples are left, and when one goes away naturally, that is what you miss, that companionship, that bonding that is there. I mean, this is just a small theory which I would like to clear from you. Otherwise, I mean, it was a very, very enlightening lecture, sir. Thank you so much.
I agree with you. I never said that love should be I never said love is sex. When I was talking about Shakespeare's sonnets, it clearly indicates one important thing. When I say that love is not love which alteration finds or bends the river review, it means I was just emphasizing on the concept of platonic love. But I was talking about from psychological point of view. What does psychology say? What does medical science say? I was just hinting on this particular point. Otherwise, I agree with you. The love is platonic. Love is a matter of heart. It doesn't have any link with the physical things. And body is only the gateway to spiritualism. Nothing else. Only real spiritualism. I was just propounding this story. I was just quoting the psychologist because to prove this thing that the hormones are very much responsible in creating the feeling of love. Otherwise, whatever you are saying, I 100% agree with.
Thank you so much. This is what I wanted to know. Thank you so much.
Sir,
Thank you for enlightening us.
Sir, I want to ask one question. That in India, all the literature is full with the love of Radha and Krishna. All the Hindi, Urdu, and Sanskrit poetries are filled with the love of Radha and Krishna. But that love was not successful because they were not married, or they were not able to live the life together. Do you think that love is successful when you are not able to meet each other? And the other is Amrita Pritam and Sahir Ludhianvi.
And Sahil Ludhianvi.
Though Imroz took much care of Amrita Pritam का ज़्यादा ध्यान इमरोज ने रखा था, लेकिन नाम तो हमेशा साहिर के साथ जोड़ा जाता है. साहिर तो छोड़कर चले गए थे सर, लेकिन इमरोज ने सारी जिंदगी खिदमत की. इमरोज was the one who means throughout his life he served Amrita, but still Amrita Pritam name is associated with Sahir Ludhianvi.
मैडम, मेरे सामने अमृता इमरोज के प्रेम पत्र पड़े हुए हैं टेबल पर. अमृता इमरोज, मैंने इसको कोट नहीं किया, उस समय कम था. The basic thing is that love of Radha Krishna का जो राधा कृष्ण का लव है, that love Radha Krishna, that is a very platonic love. And I feel that marriage is not the culmination of love. Sorry to say, marriage is not the culmination of love. If marriage was the culmination of love, then all the poets, all the great artists, they might have composed poems about their wives. Generally, all the poets and poetesses, they compose the poems about their lovers. You remember Emily Dickinson? Any poet, they talk about their beloveds, not about their wives. Because whenever they are in the feeling of love, they never talk of marriage. Marriage is a secondary thing to culminate love. Marriage is not the only solution, only solution of love. Marriage is not the only culmination, not only last stage of the love. What I want to say. That is why Amrita Pritam was a level child. आपको याद करो कि अमृता प्रीतम जाती थी इमरोज के साथ, उसके स्कूटर पर बैठकर, तो पीछे लिखती साहिर. That is the real love. And Imroz was only looking after her interest, her life, her personal things. लेकिन जो लव है वो साहिर से है. इसलिए कहते हैं बशेबत का शेर है, कुछ ऐसे गम हैं जो चिता तक जाएंगे. It means अमृता का जो प्रेम है साहिर के साथ, वो एक फर्स्ट लव है। उसके बाद कितने भी लोग आए वो सेकंडरी होते चले गए। दैट इज द
Sir, Amrita used to call Sahir as Rab, God, and Imroz as Ranjha. This was the comparison of her love for these two. She used to call Sahir as Rab, God, and Imroz and Ranjha. And sir, you said one thing that when you are in depression, then you become seer. So poet like Rumi, where who are famous seer, were they in depression? Then they became seer.
You don't try to associate love with marriage. My concept is.
Okay.
You don't try to associate love with only marriage.
शमीनाज, क्या मैं भी कुछ पूछ सकती हूँ सर?
हाँ, पूछिए।
हाँ, पूछिए मैम, पूछिए।
नमस्कार सर, आपका लेक्चर बहुत अच्छा था। मेरा नाम अलका है सर। मैं ये कहना चाहती हूँ कि जो प्रेम है उसको सभी लोगों ने अपने अपने हिसाब से दिखाया है, बताया है। भानानंद की बात आती है, कबीर भी कहते हैं कि कबीरा यह घर प्रेम का, खाला का घर नहीं, या फिर यह प्रेम को पंथ कराल महा तरवारी की धार पे धावन। तो प्रेम बहुत ही दुर्लभ होता है और वो बहुत खुशनसीब होता है जो किसी का प्यार पाता है। मैं भी इसको मानती हूँ कि इसका विवाह से कोई संबंध नहीं है, लेकिन कहीं ना कहीं मैं ये देखती हूँ कि जो प्रेम है उसमें जो प्रेमी है वो बहुत ही दुख उठाते हैं, कष्ट उठाते हैं, और ये बहुत ही मुश्किल काम होता है। तो क्या आपकी निगाह में ऐसे लोग हैं जिन्होंने प्रेम में बहुत खुशी पाई हो, या फिर मुझे लगता है कि कहीं न कहीं बहुत भारी दुख भी दे जाता है?
मैडम, मैं खुल के बात करूं?
हाँ बिल्कुल सर, बिल्कुल।
मैडम, जो लोग प्रेम में विवाह की प्रेम का विवाह बन जाता है, रचनाकार नहीं बनते। इसलिए मैंने आपसे कहा था अनफुलफिल्ड लव हमेशा क्रिएटिविटी वाला होता है। अगर घनानंद को सुजान न ठुकराती, आप हिंदी के प्रोफेसर हैं, घनानंद प्रेम की पीढ़ के कवि हैं, और घनानंद को सुजान नहीं ठुकराती तो आप घनानंद नहीं मिलता। और अगर मॉडगॉन डब्ल्यू बी येट्स को नहीं ठुकराती, टर्न डाउन करती उसके प्रेम प्रस्ताव को, तो निश्चित रूप से हमें येट्स नहीं मिलता। अनफुलफिल्ड लव में क्रिएटिविटी है। अनफुलफिल्ड लव, जो लव पूरा नहीं हो पाया, जो लव विवाह के बंधन में बंध गया, वो लव एक कॉन्जुगल लाइफ जीता है, हैप्पी मैरिड लाइफ जी सकता है, लेकिन वो क्रिएटिविटी के आसपास नहीं होता। मैं एक कंसेप्ट देना चाहता हूँ, ये मेरा अपना कंसेप्ट है, ये मेरी डिसएग्री विद मी।
मुझे लगता है ये जितनी खुशी देता है उससे ज्यादा दुख पाते हैं प्रेमी जो है, उससे ज्यादा दुख पाते हैं।
मैडम, यू रिमेम्बर महादेवी वर्मा,
वो भी खुश हो।
मैडम, यू रिमेम्बर महादेवी वर्मा, वो दुख में ही खुश हैं, उनको पीड़ा अच्छी लगती है। वो कहते हैं नीर भरी दुख की बदली, आगे कहते हैं घोर यातना व्यक्ति को जीवन दृष्टा बना देती है। जो जितनी मानसिक यातना पाएगा वो जीवन दृष्टा बन जाए।
थैंक यू सर, मेरा भी
कुमार विश्वास एक कविता लिखता है, पगली लड़की के बिन, अगर वो लड़की उसकी लाइफ में आ जाती तो कुमार विश्वास नहीं होता। वो तो कुमार विश्वास है, लड़की नहीं मिली उसको, वो लड़की नहीं मिली उसको। इसलिए अतप्त आकांक्षाओं की पूर्ति के अभाव में ही आदमी रचनाकार बनता है। अगर सब चीजें मिल जाएंगी रचनाकार बनेगा ही नहीं। शेक्सपियर कहता है स्वीट आर द यूज ऑफ एडवर्सिटी, स्वीट आर द यूज ऑफ एडवर्सिटी। कहता है यू लाइक इट में।
Really sir, you already told that no, melancholy of your love poetry, melancholy, you talk about melancholy.
कुंवर बेचैन कहते हैं, मैं कवि हूँ, मेरी परिभाषा मेरे गीत दिया करते हैं, औरों को अमृत देकर खुद जहर पिया करते हैं। मैं
और सर कालिदास को जो कंपेयर करते हैं शेक्सपियर से, तो कहीं न कहीं वो यक्ष और यक्षिणी वाला जो प्रसंग है वो भी जुड़ता होगा उससे। मेरा मेघदूत वाला, मेघदूतम से भी आप जोड़ेंगे? जी बिल्कुल।
और बहुत अच्छा है। जहाँ तक बच्ची मैरिज की बात, आपके यहाँ तो कालिदास के यहाँ शादी हो गई है बिना उसके परमिशन के, कर्ण ऋषि की, गांधार विवाह हो गया है, वो प्रेग्नेंट भी हो गई है, और तब भी कर्ण ऋषि स्वीकार करते हैं आसानी से कुछ जमाने में। तो कालिदास कितने मॉडर्न है, कितने बिंदास है कालिदास।
मॉडर्न तो देखना हो सर तो आप महाभारत देख सकते हैं, जहाँ सब नियोग से उत्पन्न हुए हैं, तो इस पे तो अलग चर्चा हो सकती है। बिल्कुल सर। धन्यवाद सर, बहुत बहुत आभार।
सर,
धन्यवाद सेमिनार्स की इतना अच्छा लेक्चर सुनवाया आज हम सबको आपने, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
सर अलका मैम भी हिंदी की कवित्री हैं हमारे शहर की, डॉक्टर
अच्छा,
अलका
अच्छा।
प्रकाश। और हम लोग सर 17 तारीख को हिंदी कविता पर वो हिंदी पोइट्री रीडिंग रखेंगे, तो आपको भी उसके लिए आमंत्रण करते हैं कि आप ऐसा वो हमारे चीफ गेस्ट रहे उस इवेंट के। अनु,
Yes, Dean. Any other questions can I take or we move forward?
मैम आई हैव अ क्वेश्चन।
ये समृता यू
Yes,
मे
you may
आस्क।
ask.
मैम सर मेरा क्वेश्चन सर से है कि सर आपने कहा कि शादी एक फुलफिलमेंट है, और अगर फुलफिलमेंट हो जाता है तो जो प्रेमी होता है या जो राइटर होता है वो क्रिएटिव नहीं हो पाता। तो क्रिएटिव होने के लिए प्रेम का फुलफिलमेंट नहीं होना चाहिए। तो सर क्या शादी के बिना प्रेम का कोई फुलफिलमेंट नहीं है? अगर हम ये कहें कि शादी ही फुलफिलमेंट है, शादी हो जाती है तो प्रेम पूर्ण हो जाता है, तो सर क्या शादी के बिना प्रेम पूर्ण नहीं हो सकता?
ये दोनों एस्पेक्ट हैं, ये दोनों एस्पेक्ट हैं लाइफ के। ये एस्पेक्ट ये मैरिज, देखिए आप याद करिए वर्ष की पोएम है स्काई लार्क, उसकी लास्ट से लास्ट लाइन वो पोएम स्टार्ट करता है कि इथीरियल मिस्टर पिलग्रिम द स्काई, और लास्ट में कहता है टाइप ऑफ द वाइज हु सोर बट नेवर रोम ट्रू टू द किंडर्ड पॉइंट्स ऑफ हेवन एंड होम। दो चीजें, हेवन और होम। हेवन है स्पिरिचुअल, होम है वर्ल्डलीनेस। आप विवाह के बाद, मैरिज के बाद सांसारिक बन जाते हैं, लेकिन आवश्यक नहीं है आप क्रिएटिव बने रहें। लेकिन क्रिएटिविटी के लिए आपको जो ऊर्जा मिलती है, एनर्जी, वो अपने लव से मिलती है, अपने फ्रस्ट्रेशन से मिलती है, अभावों से मिलती है। एक बहुत छोटी सी बात है, आप देखिए जो पुराने लोग हैं आपके टीचर्स, जिन्होंने बहुत कष्ट पाए जीवन में, आज वो सफल हैं। और जो बच्चे 90% जीवन में लग्जरी में जीवन जी रहे हैं, वो उतने सफल नहीं होते पुराने लोग। देखिए आप, आपके पेरेंट्स, आपके टीचर्स तो किस किस तरह पढ़े थे, हिंदी स्कूल में पढ़े थे, गरीबी में पढ़े थे, आज वो अच्छी पोजीशन में है। और आज के बच्चों को सारी सुविधाएं मिल रही हैं, उसके बाद भी 10% बच्चे सफल है, 90% नहीं है। इसका मतलब क्या है? कहीं ना कहीं अभाव, कष्ट, व्यथाएं ये व्यक्ति को दार्शनिक बनाती हैं। अगर रजनीश को, ओशो भगवान रजनीश को सागर विश्वविद्यालय से निकाला नहीं जाता तो वो ओशो भगवान रजनीश नहीं बनता। ओशो भगवान रजनीश was expelled from University of Sagar, University of Jabalpur because of his bold ideas. That is why he could become भगवान रजनीश। अगर वो सामान्य प्रोफेसर रह जाते हमारी आपकी तरह, और जहाँ पढ़ाते, BA में कराते, PhD कराते, तो कौन पूछता? इसलिए कहीं ना कहीं ये भी फैक्ट है। दो तरह की लाइफ है, आप एक अच्छा जीवन जी रहे हैं। आप तुलसीदास का एग्जाम्पल मैंने आपको दिया, तुलसी को रत्नावली ने भगा दिया। विद्योत्मा का अपमान, विद्योत्मा ने अपमान किया कालिदास का, और कालिदास महाकवि बने। अभिज्ञान शक्ति रघुवंश कुमार संभव विक्रमो वर्षीय है, मार्च का मित्र से नाटक लिखे। राइट, तो निश्चित रूप से मैरिज का अलग चीज है। इसलिए मैं ऐसा नहीं कहना चाहता था। बर्नार्ड शॉ ने कहा है मैरिज इज ए लाइसेंस प्रोस्टिट्यूशन। यू हैव डिसएग्रीमेंट विद मी। बर्नार्ड शॉ बहुत पहले कह चुका था मैरिज इज सेरेमोनियल टॉय। उसका एक अलग कलर है। When I am talking about concept of love, then I am talking about from each and every point of view, be it western, be it eastern. If we talk about anything, हम ध्यान रखें ईस्टर्न कंसेप्ट, वेस्टर्न कंसेप्ट। इफ यू टॉक अबाउट फेमिनिज्म, हमें पता है फेमिनिज्म है, ईस्टर्न फेमिनिज्म, वेस्टर्न फेमिनिज्म। ऐसी लव का कंसेप्ट है, वो ईस्टर्न कंसेप्ट ऑफ लव, वेस्टर्न कंसेप्ट ऑफ लव। हमारे यहाँ कंसेप्ट और तरह का है। मैंने इन द बिगिनिंग कहा था हमारे यहाँ लव क्या है, इसके पास कितना पैसा है, कितनी प्रॉपर्टी है, हमारे कैसे विवाह होते हैं। सॉरी टू से मुझे कहना पड़ता है, हमारे कैसे होते हैं हमारे यहाँ। लड़का बहुत स्मार्ट है, इंटेलिजेंट है, पैसे वाला है, शादी कर दी जाती है, और आफ्टर मैरिज यू फॉल इन लव। राइट, और आपकी शादी किससे होती है? होती है वर्ल्डलीनेस, पैसे से, नौकरी से, पद से, व्यक्ति से नहीं होती। फिर आपका मेंटल इक्विलिब्रियम नहीं बैठता, फिर आपके डिवोर्स होते हैं, फिर झगड़े होते हैं, फिर शादी को आप ढोते हो।
Really, sir? You are right in your definition.
और सुनिए, अगर आप सुनना चाहते हैं, 90% मैरिड लोगों से बात की अकेले में, they are not happy in their married life। जो शो करते हैं लोगों को very happy।
Can I say something?
मुझसे इतना क्या बुलवा रहे हो? आप मुझसे इतना बेटर क्या बुलवा रहे हो? क्वेश्चन पूछ के।
really, sir, we enjoyed your lecture very much, and your very lecture reflects that you are a love poet, and you covered the entire topics, entire poets of Hindi literature and English literature. Really, we enjoyed your wonderful topic, and it proved that you are a love poet, and you loved the love poetry. We inspired so much.
Anu, Shanaz ma'am was asking something. Shanaz ma'am, please ask.
Okay. Okay. In fact, I don't have any questions for Dr. Vikas Sharma, but I would certainly like to say a few words regarding his lecture, if you permit me so. Can I go ahead, Dr. Shaminas?
Yes, sure, ma'am. Sure.
Okay. So thank you so much, Dr. Vikas Sharma, for such. Am I audible?
We are audible.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Vikas Sharma, for such an elaborate, erudite lecture on love in literature. You talked about 8 kinds of love. Historically, we have come across political and arranged marriages sans love to fulfill the needs of 2 parties. Your quotes from Hindi, Urdu, English literatures and from other areas of life were apt. You've thrown light on the psychology involved in this relationship. Let it be any genre, any field. Love to be real love requires sincerity and purity of emotions. You referred to Manju Kapoor, who offers to reward love with love. Through the discussion, it was made clear that it is unfulfilled love which is your concern, because it leads to creativity. Thanks a lot, sir. I hope I have understood your lecture correctly. Thanks a lot.
I quote Kumar Sas one very famous line. तुम मुझे नित नई पीर देना, मैं तुम्हें नित नई गीत दूंगा. तुम मुझे नित नई पीर देना, पीर माने कष्ट. तुम मुझे नित नई पीर देना, मैं तुम्हें नित नई गीत दूंगा. हेलो. तुम मुझे नित नई पीर देना, मैं तुम्हें नित नई पीर गीत दूंगा. And I remember Nida Fazli, a very famous couplet. मोहब्बत के लिए कुछ खास दिल मखसूस होते हैं, ये वो नगमा है जो हर साज पर गाया नहीं जाता.
Wow, great poetry.
Thank you.
Dr. Shaminas, can I invite our chairperson?
Yes, go ahead.
We enjoyed so much sir's lecture. Really. Now I would like to invite today's chairperson, Dr. Ranjana Saran Sinha. Let me introduce first. Dr. Ranjana Saran Sinha is an eminent poet, author and retired professor of English from Nagpur, India. She is well-known voice in Indian poetry in English with international recognition. She is the recipient of a number of awards from prestigious academic and cultural institutions for contribution to literature. Best Poets Award, like Poets International Awards, Bangalore, like that. He has the honor of receiving honor from former President of India, APJ Abdul Kalam, for her poem Mother Nature. She is one of the members of our editorial board also. Now, I would like to invite you, ma'am, Ranjana ma'am. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you.
Stage is open for you. Over
Thank
to
you,
you.
Anupama. Thank you. Respected Professor Vikas Sharma, Dr. Shamina Sheikh, and Dr. Anupama Sharma, and other dignitaries of the session. I really feel pleased and privileged today to be here on this wonderful platform of Progressive Literary and Cultural Society as the chairperson of this session. I am extremely thankful to Dr. Professor Vikas Sharma for enlightening us with his erudite and insightful speech. Marvelous. We are really enriched by your words, Dr. Sharma. In the words of Susan Sontag, I quote, "Nothing is mysterious, no human relation except love." I unquote.
So, it's no wonder that love is one of the most frequently delved into themes in literature. It defies boundaries by appearing across all genres, age groups, and periods of history. Love can be a force for good that inspires people to sacrifice themselves for others, or a toxic force that drives people to madness or violence. Well, it can be a romantic passion or a feeling of goodwill and friendship. Literature down the ages has explored the myriad hues of love. From Shakespeare to Pablo Neruda, love floats in the firmament of literature. Of course, with different colors, with different hues. Well, today's session was extremely enlightening, I must say once again. Our speaker has wonderfully expressed the concept of love in Hindi, Urdu, and English literature. He focused on the psychological aspects of love, which was beautifully explained through poems. Really, we loved the frequent recitations of poems in different languages. It is the hallmark of today's session, and I think all of you must have loved it too. The reference of components of love was quite interesting. Although we have read about love poems, all of us are professors or lecturers of literature. Someone is professor of Hindi, someone of English, and so on. But the reference of components of love is very interesting. Although we have read about love poems, we hardly know the different types of love. What are the different types of love? Today we came to know. The chemical cocktails that Professor Sharma spoke of are quite relevant and unique. What is the concept of love in Indian society and Western society? Well, in Indian society, certainly not love at first sight, which we often find in the Western societies. When the loss of love is caused by chemical current, that loss of love is caused by chemical current is a remarkable phenomenon. And very frankly speaking, I knew it today only through the speech of Dr. Sharma. I knew it today. Well, the entire speech was illuminated by purple patches of poem and interesting anecdotes from different fields of literature, whether it is Hindi literature, Urdu literature, or English literature. The concept of love has also made references to creativity that is related to sadness is love, or we can say unfulfilled love, that is unrequited love. The references of classics was highly enlightening. During this speech, we encountered Nabokov's Lolita, Shakespeare's sonnets, Othello's Desdemona, and many more classical figures. He also analyzed famous love poems of English and Hindi literature, whether it is the poem of Donne or the sonnets, especially the love sonnets of Shakespeare. He elaborately analyzed all these poems. Well, just to put it briefly, the speech of Professor Sharma was a sumptuous feast, not only for literature lovers and professors and lecturers, but also for all of us, for also for common people. And here I give a stop to my words. Thank you once again, Professor Sharma, for your for giving us such an erudite session. And thank you, Dr. Samina Sheikh, for giving me this wonderful opportunity of chairing the session. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ranjana, for giving such a wonderful exploration and analysis of the lecture of Professor Vikas Sharma. Now, I would like to invite Dr. Shaminas to give vote of thanks.
Thank you so much, but I wanted sir to recite some Hindi poem of his, but he has left. Sir is there.
Professor Sharma,
Sir, we request you to recite some Hindi poems of yours.
poems.
Am I audible?
Yes.
कितना मिनट 5 मिनट 10 मिनट टाइम दो
सर आप जितना चाहें सर ऑडियंस सुनने के लिए तैयार है सर हिंदी सी वी स्टडी इंग्लिश लिटरेचर बट हिंदी इज क्लोज टू आवर हार्ट बिकॉज हिंदी इज आवर नेटिव लैंग्वेज सो वी कैन हियर
नाउ रिसाइट ए पोएम जब मैं कहता क्या तभी प्रेम की परिभाषा थी जब मैं कहता क्या तभी प्रेम की परिभाषा थी तुम्हें कभी भी प्रेम कल्पतरु नहीं दिखा था जब मैं कहता क्या तभी प्रेम की परिभाषा थी तुम्हें कभी भी प्रेम कल्पतरु नहीं दिखा था प्रेम कथा आंखों से होकर रही पनपती वाणी का संवाद वहां पर कहाँ लिखा था जब मैं कहता क्या तभी प्रेम की परिभाषा थी तुम्हें कभी भी प्रेम कल्पतरु नहीं दिखा था प्रेम कथा आंखों से होकर रही पनपती वाणी का संवाद वहां पर कहाँ लिखा था वाणी अक्सर मौन रहा करती है वाणी अक्सर मौन रहा करती है आंखों में प्यार हुआ करता है वाणी अक्सर मौन रहा करती है आंखों में प्यार हुआ करता है पर दिलो दिमाग पर छा जाता है कोई दिल पर भी उसका अधिकार हुआ करता है दिलो दिमाग पर छा जाता है कोई दिल पर भी उसका अधिकार हुआ करता है हो सकता है मैंने गलत स्वप्न देखे हो सकता है मैंने गलत स्वप्न देखे हो तुमको भी क्या स्वप्न नहीं आए थे मेरे तुमको भी क्या स्वप्न नहीं आए थे मेरे तुमने याद किया मुझको या नहीं किया हो तुमने याद किया मुझको या नहीं किया हो मैं पूजा करता था तेरी शाम सवेरे मैं पूजा करता था तेरी शाम सवेरे ऑडिबल
जी
एम आई कंप्लीटली ऑडिबल
जी सर
यस सर बहुत खूब
तेरी प्रीत छलेगी मुझको तेरी प्रीत छलेगी मुझको ऐसा तो विश्वास नहीं था तेरी प्रीत छलेगी मुझको ऐसा तो विश्वास नहीं था और जब कहता मुझको दीवाना ये मेरा उपहास नहीं तेरी प्रीत छलेगी मुझको ऐसा तो विश्वास नहीं था और जब कहता मुझको दीवाना ये मेरा उपहास नहीं था और तेरे कारण मैं इस जग की सारी निंदाएं सह लेता तेरे कारण मैं इस जग की सारी निंदाएं सह लेता तेरे कारण मैं इस जग की सारी निंदाएं सह लेता कोई चाहने बाकी होती पर तुझको अपना कह लेता तेरे कारण मैं इस जग की सारी निंदाएं सह लेता और कोई चाहने बाकी होती पर तुझको अपना कह लेता तुम्हें ठुकरा दोगी मुझको ऐसा तो आभास नहीं था तुम्हें ठुकरा दोगी मुझको ऐसा तो आभास नहीं था तुम्हें आस्था प्रेरणा मेरी तुम्हें आस्था प्रेरणा मेरी तुम्हें आस्था प्रेरणा मेरी तुम्हीं को सब कुछ माना था तुम्हें आस्था प्रेरणा मेरी तुम्हीं को सब कुछ माना था इस सबको तुमने छुटलाया इस सबको तुमने छुटलाया इसमें मेरा दोष नहीं था इसमें मेरा दोष नहीं था जाने कब देखा था तुमको जाने कब देखा था तुमको अब तो यह भी याद नहीं है जाने कब देखा था तुमको अब तो यह भी याद नहीं है तुम्हें देखने कोई आंखें तरसी है फरियाद नहीं है तुम्हें देखने कोई आंखें तरसी है फरियाद नहीं है लाइन देखिए बिन देखे ही रहना होगा बिन देखे ही रहना होगा ऐसा तो अभ्यास नहीं था बिन देखे ही रहना होगा ऐसा तो अभ्यास नहीं था अक्सर गुण विशेष के कारण दर्द हृदय में आ जाता है अक्सर गुण विशेष के कारण दर्द हृदय में आ जाता है तेरा कुछ भी दोष नहीं है यह सब पर ही छा जाता है अक्सर गुण विशेष के कारण दर्द हृदय में आ जाता है तेरा कुछ भी दोष नहीं है यह सब पर ही छा जाता है लेकिन गर्व विनय की सीमा तोड़ेगा, लेकिन गर्व विनय की सीमा तोड़ेगा। ऐसा तो भान नहीं था और तेरी प्रीत छलेगी मुझको, ऐसा तो विश्वास नहीं था जब कहता मुझको दीवाना, ये मेरा उपहास नहीं था। Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
अब एक कविता सुनाया था छोटी सी।
Yes, sir. Why not?
तो आपने पढ़ी होगी कैनोनाइजेशन,
Yes.
आप लोग पढ़ाते नहीं इसको, वहां से आइडिया है। मेरी प्रणय साधना में विश्राम नहीं है, मेरी प्रणय साधना में विश्राम नहीं है, तुम बिन मुझको इस जग में आराम नहीं। मेरी प्रणय साधना में विश्राम नहीं है, तुम बिन मुझको इस जग में आराम नहीं है। और क्षण भर को मेरे मन मंदिर में आ जाओ, और क्षण भर को मेरे मन मंदिर में आ जाओ, चारों ओर तुम ही हो इसमें राम नहीं है। मेरी प्रणय साधना में विश्राम नहीं है और तुम बिन मुझको इस जग में आराम नहीं है। क्षण भर को मेरे मन मंदिर में आ जाओ, चारों ओर तुम ही हो इसमें राम नहीं है। और किन्हीं क्षणों में जब तुम मुझको याद करोगी, किन्हीं क्षणों में जब तुम मुझको याद करोगी, तब तुम मुझसे मिलने की फरियाद करोगी। किन्हीं क्षणों में जब तुम मुझको याद करोगी, किन्हीं क्षणों में फ्यूचर में, किन्हीं क्षणों में जब तुम मुझको याद करोगी, तब तुम मुझसे मिलने की फरियाद करोगी। और फिर मेरी मजबूरी आड़े आएंगी, और फिर मेरी मजबूरी आड़े आएंगी, जाने किसका दिल फिर तुम आबाद करोगी। किन्हीं क्षणों में जब तुम मुझको याद करोगी, तब तुम मुझसे मिलने की फरियाद करोगी। और फिर मेरी मजबूरी आड़े आएंगी, जाने किसका दिल फिर तुम आबाद करोगी। मैं भी खुश हूँ, मैं भी खुश हूँ, कैसे कोई जान सकेगा। मैं भी खुश हूँ, कैसे कोई जान सकेगा। मेरे गम की पीड़ा किंतु न जब जान सकेगा, मेरे गम की पीड़ा किंतु न जब जान सकेगा। अपने गम को पीकर जिसने खुशियाँ बांटी, अपने गम को पीकर जिसने खुशियाँ बांटी, दीवाना ही दीवाने को पहचान सकेगा, दीवाना ही दीवाने को पहचान सकेगा। एक 4 पंक्ति बता देता हूँ, छोड़ लास्ट बस। मैं सच कहता हूँ विप्रलम्ब प्रिय मुझसे सहा नहीं जाता, मैं सच कहता हूँ विप्रलम्ब प्रिय मुझसे सहा नहीं जाता। कितना रोया कितना तड़पा अब कुछ भी कहा नहीं जाता। मैं सच कहता हूँ विप्रलम्ब प्रिय मुझसे सहा नहीं जाता। कितना रोया कितना तड़पा अब कुछ भी कहा नहीं जाता। यह दूरी क्षणिक नहीं किंचित, यह दूरी क्षणिक नहीं किंचित, यह तो जीवन भर की दूरी है। यह दूरी क्षणिक नहीं किंचित, यह तो जीवन भर की दूरी है। और क्या तुम कहती क्या मैं सुनता, दोनों की ही मजबूरी है। क्या तुम कहती क्या मैं सुनता, दोनों की ही मजबूरी है। लेकिन विश्वास नहीं होता, लेकिन विश्वास नहीं होता और तुम बिन रहा नहीं जाता। लेकिन विश्वास नहीं होता और तुम बिन रहा नहीं जाता। कितना अच्छा होता, कितना अच्छा होता हम तुम जीवन भर साथ रहे होते। कितना अच्छा होता हम तुम जीवन भर साथ रहे होते। हमने खुशियां बांटी होती, सारे दुख साथ सहे होते। कितना अच्छा होता हम तुम जीवन भर साथ रहे होते। हमने खुशियां बांटी, सारे दुख साथ सहे होते। खुशियां तो अब भी बढ़ती हैं, खुशियां तो अब भी बढ़ती हैं, दुख सबसे कहा नहीं जाता। खुशियां तो अब भी बढ़ती हैं, दुख सबसे कहा नहीं जाता। मैं सच कहता हूँ विप्रलम्ब प्रिय मुझसे सहा नहीं जाता। कितना रोया कितना तड़पा अब कुछ भी कहा नहीं जाता। धन्यवाद।
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for your
Excuse me, ma'am.
very spontaneous recitation, sir. And I think it's symbolical and metaphorical also.
Don't try to explain anything.
And one thing also, sir, the element of melancholy is appeared in your poems. I think so.
यही तो मैं आपको पढ़ा रहा था हिंदी से।
Excuse me, ma'am.
क्या सिखा रहा था?
Yes, Kritika, yes.
Ma'am, after hearing his poems, I have a question for him. May I?
No, beta. Now the session is already over. You can type your question and we can send it to sir. Okay, now.
Ma'am, it's a bit personal question. Only if he could answer this yes or no only.
No.
Okay.
No. Let it be now.
You note down my number and pose the question with WhatsApp number.
Now there is a rules and regulation regarding seminar. When chairperson has already given the review, then there is no question answer session.
Okay, yeah, you are right. Kritika, after the chairperson, you can't.
Okay, ma'am. But my question arises after hearing his poems only.
You can type your question. You can type text message. You can type.
No, that's fine. It's okay. It's a bit personal. personal question. I would not type it.
Okay. Now, I would like to invite
सर पहले तो आपका बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया कविता पाठ पढ़ने के लिए। सर हम जितना भी अंग्रेज़ी में पढ़ाएं, लेकिन हिंदी उर्दू ये जो हिंदी उर्दू का जो संगम है, हिंदुस्तानी या हिंदी या उर्दू, ये हमारे दिल से ज़्यादा जुड़ी है, तो हमें अपनी भाषा में कविता पढ़ना ज़्यादा अच्छा लगता है। इसीलिए जब हम लोग हिंदी पोइट्री रीडिंग करवाते हैं ना, हिंदी उर्दू, तो उसको हम लोग उसका टाइटल दिए हैं हमारी भाषा हमारी पहचान। तो हम लोग 17 तारीख को दशहरे के बाद, दशहरा के 10वीं के 2 दिन बाद हम लोग कर रहे हैं है हमारी भाषा हमारी पहचान। हम लोग 3-4 बार कर चुके हैं। सर हम लोग टाइम पे मराठी पोइट्री रीडिंग भी करवा चुके हैं, बंगाली और पंजाबी भी करेंगे। असल में मराठी काफ़ी लोग हमारे साथ जुड़े हैं, अभी पंजाबी लोग कम जुड़े हैं, या पंजाबी तो एक ही लोग जुड़े हैं, बंगालीज कम जुड़े हैं। तो सर आपकी कविताएं बहुत अच्छी लगी। कमिंग टू योर लेक्चर सर, वी थैंक आई डॉक्टर शमनाज ऑन बिहाफ ऑफ प्रोग्रेसिव एंड लिटरेसी एंड कल्चरल सोसाइटी, थैंक यू सो मच for your erudite and informative lecture covering Hindi, Urdu, Sanskrit and Hindi and English as well as English literature. This is something very unique, means we have not heard this kind of lecture which has covered English, Hindi, Urdu, Sanskrit literature in just one lecture. We have never heard this kind of lecture, and I think this assimilation is what represent our country, our culture. Our culture means assimilation, multiculturalism, and this is was visible, reflected. This was quite reflective in your lecture, and sir, thank you so much. Indeed, we are overwhelmed by listening your lecture, because it is something very unique, which is very rare to be found. And thank you so much, sir. Since our society is a new society and we are growing, we are working hard to make it global, make it and today also people from Turkey, Switzerland and Finland have joined us. Actually it was a little bit early, and so Europeans were a bit busy today, and sir mostly they join our lecture on Saturday and Sunday, because whole Monday to Friday is their working day. They work a lot, and they have a weekend, so on Saturday and Sunday we get lots and lots of participation from European and American countries. But anyhow sir, thanks to all the audience who have joined today from Europe, from Turkey. Lucilla was not well, still she has joined on our request. My friend Annie has joined from Finland, and Mushine Arda, who is like an elder sister to me, from Turkey, she has joined, and Serkan Engin from Turkey, a famous poet, has joined. And thank you so much Ranjana ma'am for giving such an insight and of sir's lecture. And you are also one of the asset of our society, because you are a senior, one of the senior person, and very humble, very sweet person, ready to accept things from we juniors. We have to learn a lot from people like you and Vikas sir. And Vikas sir, we invite you for our as a chief guest for our Hindi Urdu poetry reading, that is on 17, Hamari Bhasha Hamari Pehchan. And thank you so much Dr. Anupma. You are an integral, thank you, integral part of PLCS. Me, you, Dr. Manisha, Manju and Alka ma'am, Kanupriya are like one body of this organization. And even Nirja Sajdev ma'am, and now Ranjana ma'am has joined us, and we ladies are all sir working together to make this society a global and multicultural society. So we are trying to do lots and lots of events, and there is a technical team like Dr. Manisha is always ready by generating link, and different people. See, any work is any event is not an effort of one person, it is an effort of entire team. So I thank the entire team of PLCS that we all are working so hard to make this society a successful and global society. Thank you so much, everyone, and once again thank you so much, Vikas sir, for giving your valuable time. I know you are very busy because you have lots of academic engagement, you have lots of meetings and all, still you have given in time. Indeed, it is a honor for us. Thank you so much, and we would like you to be a part of our society by giving lecture and reciting. We will surely in future take your interview also, because like we have an interview series. So once again thank you, Professor Vikas Sharma, thank you Dr. Ranjana Singh, and thank you to the entire team of PLCS, including myself, because we all, me, Dr. Manisha, Anupma, Kanupriya, Lucila, even Lucila, and all, Dr. Nirja, Kanupriya, we are like a team, we are body. Like a body has a different parts. Somebody's eyes, somebody's nose, somebody's lips, somebody's ear. So in that way, we all are like this, a body, one body of this. And so I think this is the only organization which is run entirely by women. So hats up to all we women, that we all are trying so much hard. So thank you everyone. Thank you once again.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you. From Switzerland.